All right, guys. So this is a video that I've been wanting to make for like a week now, and I finally got to it. And it's talking about the future of the New York Knicks. So right now, Mitchell Robinson's on an expiring contract. Mikal Bridges is also going to need an extension. A new contract for Bridges is going to start at about 34.8 million, which means that the Knicks are not going to be able to afford that in Mitch. It would put them over the second apron, and I don't see the Knicks doing that. I wouldn't be like surprised if they do, but I just not am buying it. So the Knicks are gonna have to make a decision here. Do they want to keep Mikal or do they want to keep Mitch? And I think that's why they haven't extended Mikal yet. Well, it's not even I think, because Ian Begley did actually put a report out that the Knicks haven't extended Bridges or even really talked about it because they're waiting on Giannis. And once they know that Giannis is definitively staying in Milwaukee, they'll make that happen. And Mitch is kind of the odd man out here, which is disappointing because I'll say it again. I know I've said it before here on the channel, but I think Mitchell Robinson is the second most impactful player on the team, even more than Cat. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying he's better than Cat because he's not, but just his ability to protect the rim, switch everything, grab rebounds, catch lobs, his energy, all of that to me is the second greatest impact on the Knicks outside of course, the captain, Jalen Brunson. And I remember when Mikal was first traded here, there was reports coming out that he was also expected to take a pay cut like Jalen Brunson, and I'm hoping that that's true because OG Anunoby, he didn't take a pay cut, and I don't blame him for that because he had a huge market, and the Knicks ended up giving him, I don't remember what it was. It was like the upper 40 million a year, I think, or something like that. It was a lot of money, and rightfully so. I mean, OG is one of the best defenders in the game, and also can give you 20 points every single night. He's efficient. Yeah, we love OG, man, but he still took the most money, that at least his market was. He could have gotten the max, but no team was giving him that. So the Knicks had to match that. And now with Mikal, the question is going to be very, very shortly here in the next season of how much is he going for? And do the Knicks even want to pay that? Because if the price isn't right, I wouldn't be shocked if the Knicks find a way to just move Mikal. I don't see them locking him up long term because that might jeopardize the future of the Knicks if he isn't living up to expectations. But I do think Mikal is going to have a very good season. Is he going to go back to the one we saw with the Nets where he was a very good defender and he was also giving you like 22 a night? I don't know if we're going to get that Mikal, but the Knicks don't even need that Mikal. They just need 18 to 20 a night, all NBA type of defense like he had with the Phoenix Suns when he finished runner up to Marcus Smart for Defensive Player of the Year. That's the Mikal that the Knicks need. And there was a stat that came out, and it was Jalen Suggs was 5 of 21. That's 23.8% when Mikal was the primary defender. And also Trey Young was 14 for 47, 29.8%. That's insane to think about. Like, Mikal's defense cannot be overstated. We saw it against the Celtics specifically, where he put together clutch stop after clutch stop, and it wasn't even just the big plays, of course, with Jaylen Brown and with Jason Tatum. It was just the fourth quarter. Mikal came alive, and he's putting the ball in the bucket, and he was also just an absolute glue. I don't. He was just glue on the defensive end. He was sticky. I mean, nobody was able to score on him, and that's when the Knicks were at their best. Is when their defense was transforming into offense. We didn't see a lot of that against Indiana. We didn't see the Knicks getting a lot of stops. We didn't see the Knicks, of course, forcing turnovers. The Pacers played a very efficient style of basketball, and it put the Knicks in a spot to where they felt like they had to score every possession. So the defense definitely needs to get improved, which is why you really can't trade Mikal and you really can't trade Mitch. And also Ben Simmons, that's why the Knicks are trying to get him as their final roster spot. Mohamed Diawara, of course, got that second round exception. He looks like a future star. He's years away, though, and he's going to be a good defender. A lot of people like to say he's kind of like Pascal or OG. But in terms of just Ben Simmons, I think he'd be a great fit here. But just for Mikal, I'm just hoping, man, that he doesn't do what OG did and he just sort of takes a pay cut and helps the Knicks win. I get that you want to get your money and things like that, but the Knicks are just in such a good spot right now where they're finally starting to get the bench upgraded with Jordan Clarkson, with Gershon Yabusele, and now if they get Ben Simmons, I mean, they can have a really good chance year after year to compete, not just right now or last season. Moving forward, Jalen Brunson is on a huge pay cut, and you feel like you got to take advantage of that. And eventually, Jalen, he's going to need a new contract as well. And I don't know if we'll take another pay cut or if we'll just go for the Supermax. I mean, it depends, right? But just with the CBA, I'm not the biggest fan of it, man. Like, I understand why it was passed, but you just have a huge issue for the Knicks because they can't really do too much, and they're going to be extremely handicapped if Mikal, of course, does make over 34 million a year, which I think he probably will. And you'd have to imagine Mitch is more than likely going to go for 20 million annually. I could see Mitch signing like a, I don't know, 4 year like $80 million contract. I mean, at the very least, I could see Mitch also making more money than that. I mean, there's plenty of teams that could use Mitchell Robinson and they could have a starting center, and Mitch is as good as it gets. He does have injury concerns. There's no question about that. But when he's on the floor, he's without question, I think we can all agree, one of the better centers in the league. I get that he's not the best free throw shooter. He's a little bit, uh, yeah, I don't know. Like he's just a little bit iffy on offense because he can set good screens, he can catch lobs, he can grab offensive rebounds, but that's pretty much it. But his defense is why he would be making that money. That's why the Knicks love him, and especially with an offensive minded focused center like Cat, you want to have a big next to him that can defend, like Rudy Gobert and Cat. I mean, that was the best defensive team in the NBA. Cat at the four is a lot better defender than he is at the five, and that's the thing. And it's just when you have Jalen and you have Cat, the defense is a liability. So you need good defenders around them. And Mitch, OG, and Mikal, it doesn't get any better than that in basketball. So yeah, I mean, of course, this doesn't really matter right now because Bridges and Mitch are going to be on the Knicks. But in terms of next season, I think that's when we could see a huge switch. And if you can any sort of way go get Giannis, I mean, obviously you do it. The thing about the Knicks though is that the problem they face is they haven't had the most depth in the world. I feel like the Knicks starting five is incredible. It's just what do you have outside of that? I think that's where Indiana had us beat was they just had more outside of their starting five than we did. And a lot of it was they played and they were ready to go. And the Knicks didn't play their bench until game three when they were already down 2-0. At that point, it was too late. Like the damage had already been done. After game one, I just didn't feel like we were going to be able to come back. And then to make it even worse, the Knicks lost game two. Of course, it was heartbreaking, man. Jalen Brunson tried to pull up from like 30 feet, actually like 35 feet, and miss. But yeah, just Brunson, he needs some more help. He needs more help. He needs guys to handle the basketball more and facilitate and just take the pressure off him. And that's where Mikal comes into play. Hoping he has a big time season because I remember coming into last year, Mikal Bridges was at the top of my wish list. Like he was the guy that I wanted the most, and I didn't think the Knicks realistically were going to be able to get him. And then they traded 5 picks to get him, and I mean I would do it again because those 5 picks. I mean yeah, absolutely you could put them towards Giannis, but like I'd rather have Mikal Bridges than five future firsts that aren't even going to help the team win right now. But from what we saw, I mean, man, that looks like a lot to give up. But also, you look at one of the other trades that happened. I don't remember who it was, but oh yeah, it was Desmond Bain went to the Magic. I think he went for four first. So yeah, I think Mikhail's a much better player.